Welcome, everybody, to San Jose, California for a Week 5 matchup between the Salt Lake City Rustlers and the San Jose Flight. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs, and alongside me in the booth is the Hall of Famer, Matt Wilson. You are watching the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Good, Mike. I'm a little rusty, so it should be interesting.
You've been rusty since day one, Matt, but we're working on it. Tonight we have a pair of teams that have struggled to find their footing here in Season 2. Currently at 7th and 9th in standings, respectively, the Rustlers and the Flight. They need to get things turned around here, Matt. They're at the midway point of the season, and they want to have a shot at the playoffs, get into the top 4. It all starts here tonight. Both teams are coming off a loss. The Rustlers, they've got one win on the season. The Flight still searching for win number 1. What are the keys to victory for each of these teams?
Yeah, Mike, both teams have had a rough start to the season. Offensively, for both of them, not turning the ball over should be priority number 1. Start with simple short to medium routes with a healthy dose of the run game. At least try to get some first downs and win the battle of field position. Defensively, avoid giving up the big play. Keep the offense in front of you. Make them earn every yard. Mike, which team will execute their game plan the best? There's only one way to find out, and that's on the field.
All right, Matt, well, let's get down to the field. Jack Lewis has the ball teed up for San Jose. They will kick. Salt Lake City Rustlers will receive to get things started on offense here tonight first. Kick taken back at the 5. Returned up the middle, and a good return gets them up to the 27-yard line, and that is where quarterback Tommy Utah will get things started for us. The starting offensive lineup for the Salt Lake City Rustlers: quarterback Tommy Utah, the halfback Brooke Beisel. Wide receivers are Kelsey Brown and Kingston Ellington. The tight end, Lauren Percoco, and the center, joining this team last week, Craig McDonaldson. Utah back to throw. Short pass over the middle, and that one is incomplete. Without further ado, we'll get into the starting lineup for the San Jose Flight defense. At inside linebacker, Gary Clem. Outside linebacker is Devin King. The corner is Josh Santini. Free safety, Evan Lacey, and the strong safety, Monte Wyatt. Offside I formation here on 2nd down and 10. And it looks like it'll be a free play. Somebody jumped off sides. Out route to the top is complete. Kelsey Brown with her first catch of the ball game. We get the call from the ref.
Neutral zone infraction, number 78, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
And they do accept the penalty, so that'll negate the receiving yards by Brown. But it'll bring up, instead of a 3rd down and 5, be a 2nd down and 5.
2nd and 5 from Air Wrestler, 33-yard.
So on 2nd down and 5, it's an offset I formation once again. First handoff of the day goes to Brooke Beisel, and that one will go for a loss of 1. Beisel, not a lot of rushing yards so far on the season, Matt. Only 34 carries, now 35, with a total of only 90 yards so far.
They sent in the heavy blocking set, the defense. And kind of telegraphing it there, and the line obviously didn't hold, so here comes a passing situation.
Passing situation with 2 backs in the backfield. Utah changing the play at the line. Short drop, throws over the middle, and that one is tipped and incomplete. Is trying to hit the fullback, Danny Jenkins, and that'll be a quick 3 and out for the Rustlers.
Visions of the great Truckee stack right there, Mike. Never good to throw it in the fullback in the flat.
And when you have wide receivers like Kelsey Brown, Kingston Ellington, Lauren Percoco at tight end, to chuck it to the fullback, sometimes you got to wonder. But that's what they tried to do there. That one did not work. Punt taken back at the 30.
Wait.
And who's going to recover it? It looks like it is recovered by Salt Lake, I believe. Yeah, Salt Lake City Rustlers do indeed recover the fumble on the punt, and a big early mistake here for San Jose.
It gets flattened by number 28. And
a
That's bigger than any offensive play so far for either team. So now that it's
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
a giant pass.
A huge break for Salt Lake City. Went 3 and out, and then they recover the fumble on the punt, and Beisel takes a handoff there. He's going to lose 2 more yards. So far, 2 carries for -3 yards for Beisel.
Yeah, they'd love to see a little bit quicker of a handoff. Just hit it right up the gut, as it seems going more to the outside isn't working out so far.
Utah in the gun, 5 wide on the field for the Rustlers. Going deep down the right sideline, has the receiver and into the end zone. Touchdown, Kingston Ellington, the 2nd of the season. And Salt Lake gets the points off turnovers, Matt, and puts points on the board first.
What did I say, Mike? Make sure you keep the offense in front of you. Well, the defense for the flight did not do that, and as a result, big play off the turnover, points off turnovers, 7 right there.
Absolutely, Matt. And, I would expect to see Salt Lake City using a little bit more of that passing attack like we just saw there. Going up against San Jose, don't let the record fool you. They are 0-4, but they're actually 2nd in the league in rushing yards allowed. So Salt Lake City Rustlers halfback Brooke Beisel, who's only averaging 2.6 yards per carry on the season so far, is going to have a tough game as is. And then going up against the number 2 rush defense, it's going to be a tough outing on the ground. So expect to see some more of an air attack like that. So a big break for Salt Lake City, getting that early turnover off of the fumble, getting points on the board. And now San Jose will get their first shot on offense, assuming that this kick return goes according to plan.
2 hands for safety.
Absolutely. Taken back at the 9, spinning and then getting leveled. They're trying to make that ball pop out once again, Matt. Josh Santini on the return, and quarterback Colin Pierce coming onto the field with his offense, along with halfback Jimmy Hazard, wide receivers Doug Spelling, Jeff Banfield, and tight end Will Todd. Matt, tight end Will Todd is number 2 in the league in receiving yards for a tight end. He has 2 touchdowns, the only tight end in the minor league with 2 or more touchdowns on the season so far. A man after my heart. Pierce to throw on the first offensive play for the flight, goes for a gain of 2, connected with Todd. Right on cue, Matt.
Yeah, good job by the Salt Lake City defense, only allowing 2 yards. See if San Jose decides to run this ball. Decent formation to run against there. It's a nickel.
Pierce under center. Pierce will throw once
What's
again.
on?
Firing. Deep shot over the middle. He's got a target. Jeff Banfield off to the races to the 10, the 5. Touchdown. 2 back-to-back big offensive passing plays. 1 for each of these teams, and now both teams are on the board.
Well, they blitzed, and if you don't get to the quarterback, your coverage has to hold. And look at that. Interesting release by Pierce there, a little elongated, got the job done, and yeah, see you later. You're not catching.
Colin Pierce now with 4 touchdown passes on the season. He's got 5 picks, Matt, and as a quarterback, you know that touchdown interception ratio, you at minimum want to have your touchdowns in the positive compared to your interceptions. So closing that gap a little bit right there. Now with 4 touchdowns to 5 picks, we'll see if he can continue to improve on that throughout tonight's ball game. Extra point is up, and it is good. We are tied back up here, 7 apiece in this one. And Matt, I mentioned how San Jose's run defense, number 2 in the league. Salt Lake City's run defense is number 3 in terms of rush yards allowed. There's 9 teams in the league, so that is the top half for both of these teams. So the running game is going to be tough from both of these sides. We could be in store for a little bit of an air raid attack throughout the ball game by
Don't
both.
mind if I do, from the the former SFL leader in pass yards.
Absolutely. Jason Tomlinson on that tackle for San Jose, bringing down the return man. It looks like special teams units both coming to hit hard tonight. Maybe trying to force a turnover in San Jose's favor. Wasn't to be. The Salt Lake City offense will come back out onto the field at their own 22-yard line in what looks like a running formation. Utah will pass out of it, though. Has plenty of time, checks it down to Beisel behind the line of scrimmage, and she's able to get some positive yards up to the 26-yard line. Nice gain of 4. Will bring up a 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, good play. 4 yards. Had a schedule. I can try to run it again with Beisel, or air it out if you see the defense kind of creeping up. See what formations we got here.
Ottawa up 10-0 over Tacoma in the other minor league game going on right now. Tommy Utah hands the ball off to Beisel. She's able to get her first positive rush yards of the ball game, although still at -1 overall. Gains 2 on that play, 3rd down, and a more manageable 4.
This is where you look for a quick slant or an out. Just pick up the 1st down and let the drive continue. And oh my gosh, look at all those.
Beisel takes the handoff, trying to get off tackle to the left-hand side. That'll go for a loss of 2, brings up a 4th down and 6. Matt, you didn't sound like you liked that play call there.
I didn't get my words out, but we had all those defenders on the line in the box. I think you got to audible to a pass in that situation, especially with 4 yards. If they were in some kind of nickel or dime or quarter, yeah, okay. But not the best choice of plays there. So back to the flight we go, unless they fumble it again.
Yeah, Frank Gussie punts that one away. Taken back at the 32, this time holding on to it. Man, they're still hitting hard out there. Santini's able to retain possession of the ball this time, and the flight will take back over on offense at their own 37-yard line. The starting defense for the Salt Lake City Rustlers, Matt, defensive tackle Cabrin Womack, the inside linebacker Jonelle Ritter, cornerback is Jared Brody, free safety Peanut Say, and strong safety Christopher Magel. Ball is handed off to Hazard. Hazard takes it up the gut. Nice gain of 4 on 1st down.
I'm seeing the Rustlers in a lot of press man coverage, and the flight choose to pass. I think that's a good situation for them, because press man is really hard to execute unless you have some really good corners, and we've only have one highly paid corner on each team, so take advantage of the other guy.
Hazard takes the handoff again, spinning past the first tackler, able to get some more positive yardage there. Gain of 4 brings up a 3rd down and 2.
Great job by Hazard. I expect you might go to him again on 3rd and 2. Again, it depends on the defense, but let's see what we got. That looks like a good defense to run against, Mike, if it was me.
Absolutely.
Right up
Only
the gut.
4 guys, four down linemen close to the line, but they will throw. Swing route to the halfback. Can Hazard get there? He cannot. Only gains a yard. It'll bring up a 4th down and 1, and now the flight will have to punt it back to the Rustlers.
Again, you got a nickel situation. You shouldn't be passing there, or it's less likely you should be passing there when you just hit them up the gut where they're the weakest. You throw it to the outside, that's the strength. And well, hold the phone, Mike. They might be doing a mulligan on 4th and 1.
We'll see if they actually snap the ball. It's about 1.5 yards. It says 4th and 1, but that's a long one. Pierce looks like he's just trying to draw the Rustlers off sides, and they will burn their first time out. And now we should see the punt unit come out to kick this one away. And some words with Pierce on the sideline from the coach. Matt, are those words of encouragement or words of what were you thinking?
I don't know. Ramos just speaks Mexican to me, Spanish, so I don't know what he's saying. I'm just like, sí.
Sí, señor.
Yeah,
Much apologies.
I just know
Aaron Lynn.
CC, tacos, and margaritas.
That's it. Aaron Lind on to punt for the flight. Ball will drop at the 15-yard line, and that is right where he will be brought down. No gain on the return from Grant Hickman. Tommy Utah leading the Rustlers offense back out onto the field.
Utah needs to get moving a little bit. He had a great throw, but man, Salt Lake is really coming out with a heavy set.
Utah back to pass. Fires down the right
Oh!
sideline. There you go. Good completion to number 45, Torrey Perry, one of the backup tight ends. And Matt, the linebacker, flying in there trying to get a pick. Couldn't quite get it.
Nice protection. And then, I thought that might have been a pick. If it was a more experienced linebacker, perhaps. But that's what these guys are here to do, try to learn the ins and outs of the SFL, get their first action in, and then try to make it to the big time and get drafted.
Jeremy Toombs in on the coverage for the flight. Offset eye here on 1st down and 10. A nice run by Beisel, her best of the night. Gained 6 up to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, good vision, picking your spots, finding the opening, and getting 6. So that's huge on 1st down. Man, I'd love to see the Rustlers take another shot, though. It's a gunslinger in me. I can't help it.
Second down and 4. Utah out route to the right. That one is complete. Hauled in by Perry. No, excuse me. That is Kelsey Brown with the reception and the 1st down.
Good job. Pick up the 1st down again. I also said in my opening they'd got to be patient. They weren't on the first drive. The second drive didn't go very well with the conservative running attack. I like this better. A little bit of run, a little bit of a short passing attack, and now we're definitely going to see a pass.
For the fabled Tommy Utah quarterback sneak, man.
I have not seen this.
Pass. Out route to the top. Brooke Beisel with the reception. Split out as a wide receiver on that one. Nice gain of 8. Almost to midfield.
I believe they caught the flight in a 4-3. With that many wide receivers, that's a great matchup to pass against. Just look around, find your open man against a lineman, and go to that area, attack. Okay, look how many in the box. Audible to a pass right here.
And they will audible to the pass going deep, and they've got their target. Kingston Ellington into the end zone. Touchdown, Rustlers.
Well, I called it, Mike. They didn't need to audible, but look at this. Just a straight go route, burns the corner. That's why I said you got to attack these corners on both sides. And they did exactly that, did Salt Lake City. And so, the point scoring seems to be on the deep ball.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our 3rd deep touchdown pass we've seen in the ballgame. And we're still in the 1st quarter of play. So definitely might be an air attack throughout this one.
Could you say a high-scoring affair?
You could potentially say that, Matt. We'll have to find out how this one plays out. Extra point is up, and it is good. 3:24 to go in the 1st quarter, and the Rustlers are back out in front, 14-7 over the flight. If you are new to the Simulation Football League, you are watching the first controllerless esport where strategy and AI instead of thumbs determines the outcome. Teams submit game plans prior to the simulation, and the results play out live in real time with hundreds of viewers turned players, scouts, coaches, and team owners are on the field to create an all-new kind of virtual reality. If you'd like to find out more, you can visit our website, simulationfl.net. And there'll be a link on there to join our Discord community where you can interact with everybody in the league and find out all the information you'd ever want to know.
Where's the commentators on that ad read? Cam needs to update it. Minor league fun. I love it.
This is the last time that you're invited to the minor league. Fair warning. Colin Pierce back under center for the flight. Short, quick,
great.
pass over the middle. That one is complete. Good for a first down, and that's good right there to get a quick first down. Now you don't have to even worry about going 3 and out on this drive, Matt. Just a short dump down to Will Todd. First down yardage.
Yeah, throw it to your tight end. Finds the hole in the zone. Todd turns upfield, gets the first. Boom, just like that.
Free play here is the Rustlers jumped off sides.
They were a little restless. Oh, restless.
Oh, no.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 90. Defense.
And they do indeed call the neutral zone infraction. That one was called on Julius Arnold, the defensive end. Be a free 5 yards, bring up a first down and 5 for the flight.
Let's see if they go back to the ground. Looks like they brought in the fullback. Whoa, the full house formation. But again, look at all those people in the box. You don't want to run towards the right side of the field, the close side of the.
And they try to get down to the left side,
Wow.
and that worked pretty good. Jimmy Hazard spinning his way up to the Salt Lake City 46-yard line. Crossing midfield on that one. Fresh set of downs, 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
O-line did a great job of blocking. And Hazard cut back inside where the hole was and picked up a nice gain there. So, it does work if you have good vision and good blocking. Now we got press man. Mike, look out.
3 receivers, a tight
Look
end,
at
and a
the
running
size
back on the
difference.
field. And Hazard takes that handoff. That one's going to be tackled in the backfield for a loss of 2. And what were you saying about the size difference, Matt?
Well, if you look at the far side of the field for us, whoever that is has a huge height advantage on that Salt Lake City corner. Right there at the top of the screen. When they're playing press, that's the guy I'd target. I'd go after.
Ball is handed off to Hazard. Hazard hit right at the line of scrimmage, and now Matt, this puts them in a little bit of a predicament. 3rd down and 12. Not an ideal situation.
Well, obviously, you got to throw the ball. And again, just look at your matchups. Who do you think is the worst coverage guy for Salt Lake City? And if they run man, attack it. If they run zone, try to find an open spot in the zone, maybe in the middle.
Doug Spelling at the top
Whoa!
of the screen. He gets that catch, and he turns on the afterburners. Matt, Doug Spelling is the receiver that you were mentioning, the size advantage.
How big?
6'6",
Oh, my
222 pounds. He's got 16 catches and 128 yards on the season so far. Probably going to see a little bit more action tonight. Still looking for that elusive first touchdown of the
That
season.
cut. I once knew a receiver that was 6'6". He was a pound more than that, but he was a pretty legendary guy.
I think he also wore number 13, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I know. He retired in the halls of Mexico City.
The legendary Dijon Swan.
Swan.
Matt's, I think, favorite receiver. I don't want to, say any negative things about Cale Barrett or Richard Montague, but it always seemed like the Swan had a special place in the heart of Matt Wilson.
The Black Swan. Elusive.
2nd down and 10. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. 1 quarter in the books. 3 to go. Rustlers out in front, 14-7 over the flight. This is the Simulation Football Minor League on YouTube. Second down and 10 to get the second quarter started. 2 backs in the backfield for the flight. Pierce to throw. That one once again hitting Doug Spelling. Pierce 6 of 6 for 122 yards on the night so far. Very efficient. Spelling getting the first down yardage on that one.
Liking the Spelling guy. Look at that release. You see that, Mike? He patted the ball, and then his release is very unique as Pierce. Must have been watching the old football tapes.
Pierce under center on 1st down and 10 from the 10. Checks that one down behind the line of scrimmage to Hazard. It was actually a backwards pass, so it's a good thing that he caught that one. Matt knows a thing or two about throwing a backwards pass to the halfback that doesn't get caught.
Yeah, well, I was a little bit closer to the end zone when that happened.
Second down and 12. The fabled backwards pass to Ray Bentley that was picked up and taken the other way.
Yeah, the backwards pass to nowhere.
There, now you can see the size disadvantage for the
Good
corner. Doug
Lord.
Spelling at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, wow.
Pierce back to throw, looking towards the left side. That one is caught almost all the way down to the goal line. That was caught by Jerry Walters. A little bit smaller than Spelling, coming in at 6'1". Third down and 1.
That ball had some air under it, but, got where he needed to go. At 3rd and 1. Oh, man, goal line on throw to the slot guy.
Jimmy Hazard gets the handoff. He's averaging 4 yards per carry on the season, but it's a 4th down and inches at the goal line. I think I would challenge that, Matt.
Didn't get the first down. Or how did he not get the first down, but it's on the goal line?
I don't know, because, there was definitely a gap there. That's why I would throw the challenge flag, but no, they're going to settle for the field goal. Jack Lewis coming out for, this is shorter than an extra point, Matt. This is a 17-yard field goal try. I could make this kick.
I cannot.
Well, you can't even walk, Matt. So no, you can't kick. The field goal is up, and it is good. Jack Lewis, the only star kicker on any of these minor league squads, Matt. San Jose, the only team that believes that kickers matter too. Jack Lewis, 6 of 6 on the season. Cutting into the Rustlers' lead with that field goal, and the Rustlers will get the ball back. Try to put some more points up here in quarter number 2. Kick taken from just outside the goal line and returned up to the 23.
Well, Salt Lake City now only up 4. Maybe they can get another chunk play here. See if they decide to be conservative and keep running the ball, or if they take a shot. Again, with that really heavy set. Like every tight end in the book is on the field.
You never have too many tight ends on the field. Tommy Utah steps up into the pocket and fires to one of them right now. Lauren Percoco, the intended target. She can't haul that one in.
Check this out.
Linebacker Gary Clement on the coverage.
Off the fingertips.
Nearly intercepted.
Mike's had a few of those in his days too. Don't worry about it.
Oh, not true. I've caught every pass ever thrown my way. The problem is when your quarterback doesn't throw it to you. Playoff games. Second down and 10. Back-to-back seasons with only 1 reception for the Mexico City tight end in the playoffs. Just saying. Empty backfield for the Rustlers. Utah back to pass. Going deep down the left sideline, and that one's into coverage. And incomplete. Good coverage by Santini on that play, and he's looking for his
he's trying to find the crowd that's not there, unfortunately.
there's
people there. How about that?
Yeah. Can you not see? I know you can't walk, but
there's a gaggle.
Gaggle of fans. Oh, Matt. Did I mention this is the last time that you're invited? Tommy Utah under center on 3rd down from their own 23. Obvious pass.
Oh, no.
Short of the sticks by quite a bit. 4th down and 7. Ellington with the reception, and the Rustlers will have to punt this one away.
Yeah, until that ball past the first down marker, at least close with some room to run. That play was going nowhere fast.
Appreciate everybody joining us here for Week 5 minor league action on the Simulation Football League's YouTube page. Jessica C., Will Todd, Jack Lewis, Colin Pierce, Relgar Law, Harish Prasad, Doug Day, so many more. Oh, look, Mark Lopez is here. I thought I saw a Gerald Swift sighting. I don't know. Maybe not. First down and 10 from the 38-yard line.
Time for the flight. Again, take advantage of your targets, man. Again, press man. Just run a go route with your 6'6" guy and throw it up to him.
Pierce taking flight once again over the middle, and that one is incomplete, trying to hit Jeff Banfield. Well covered on the play. Second down.
Try. Like I say, with press man, I guess in these situations, if your quarterback gets time, should be able to find someone open, but not that time. Good coverage by the Rustlers.
Second down and 10. Pierce under center. Swing route out to Hazard. Hazard's able to gain a few yards on that play. Third down.
Decent numbers for both quarterbacks. No mistakes. The only turnover we've seen on that punt return. That was about it.
In the other game going on, Ottawa now up 17-3 over the Tacoma team with just under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter of that one.
Pierce keeps throwing me off. I keep thinking he's not throwing the ball very hard, and then the ball kind of slowly comes out of. Look at this. Look at this really slowly, and then whoop, there it goes.
It's kind of a long, winding release.
Yeah, it throws me off. My timing. As a quarterback, you kind of get used to the just. It's not. I mean, it gets the job done. I'm not saying it's a slow release. It's just different mechanics than I'm used to.
Jerry Walters with the reception on that one. Hazard takes the handoff, but has no blocking help and is hit right at the line. Tackled by Peanut Say, coming in from the free safety position to help and run support. No gain on the play. Second down and 10.
Well, San Jose is still keeping it balanced, which is a good thing, but they need to find a hole in this Rustler defense. Oh, boy.
Pierce, deep drop, looking deep down the middle. Double coverage, tip, and incomplete. Well, Wilkins has the ball now. It's too late, Wilkins. It touched the ground. It's an incomplete pass. He was excited. I think he was bringing that home as a souvenir, perhaps.
He
Down to 10.
He dropped the ball. He's like, oh, whatever, forget about it.
Christopher Magellan on that coverage as well. Third and 10 from the Salt Lake City 45-yard line. 4 wide receivers with Matt's apparent favorite, Spelling at the bottom. Spelling gets the catch, turns upfield, turns on the Jets, and the 6'6" monster gets all the way up to the 22-yard line. The Flight have a fresh set of downs.
How do you spell first down, Mike?
Literally?
Spelling.
Oh, Matt. Are these potential, draft notes that you're taking? These players are going to be eligible for the season 16 draft. It sounds like Matt wants a 6'6" receiver on the Aztecs. It sounds like you miss Dijon Swan maybe quite a bit.
Can't teach height, Mike.
Spelling in on another catch. Second down and 5 after a nice gain.
Yeah,
Inside 6 minutes to go here in the first half.
I don't mean to harp on it too much, but Pierce and Spelling have been very impressive so far, despite maybe a little bit of lack of talent around them besides the other compared to a normal SFL roster. So think what they could do with a few more weapons.
Jeff Banfield, the leading receiver on the Flight, had a couple catches tonight, been a little bit quiet. Spelling away. Will Todd, the number 2 receiver at tight end, is getting things done. We've seen him a few times tonight. Fresh set of downs now after Will Todd gets a first down up to the 11-yard line.
Showing you that tight end power, Mike. Just keep driving those legs. And well, I guess Spelling decided to.
You could literally hear the disappointment right there. You're like,
well, I mean,
offset eye formation on first down. Hazard takes the handoff and pays the price. Hitting the backfield. brought down by Jonell Ritter. Matt Ritter is a Week 5 addition to this squad, just joining the team. First tackle for a loss in Ritter's young career. Three wide receivers on the field now for second down. Swing route once again to Hazard, and that one once again goes nowhere.
Tough short side of the field, no blockers. There's not much you could do.
They're down and 11. And Matt, last time they got inside the red zone, that's when the drive kind of stalled out as well. That one was at the goal line. Now a 3rd and 11, a little bit more difficult to convert. Short pass over the middle.
No.
That one to Banfield.
Ah.
Get him a little bit closer to the goalposts, I suppose, but that'll not be enough to move the chains. And the field goal unit will trot back out onto the field for the flight.
I know there were some slanting receivers in the end zone. They were covered a little bit, but again, with the size advantage, I would have taken my chances. But at least this will put for the flight fans, it'll put them up possibly by 7, and that's feels a little more comfortable than 4.
Well, no, this cuts into Salt Lake City's lead. The flight putting 3 points on the board. It'll now be 14-13 here in San Jose.
So still a 1-possession game, bearing a 2-point conversion if necessary.
Absolutely. Jack Lewis with his second field goal of the ball game. First one from 17 yards, that one from 25 yards. A couple of easy chip shots for the best kicker in the minor league. Kickoff taken all the way back at the 4-yard line and returned up to the 27. Hickman gives the Rustlers some decent starting field position. And Tommy Utah trots back out onto the field. See if they can start to add on some more points, Matt. They got out to the early lead with the turnover and able to keep their first possession alive, punching it into the end zone with a nice deep pass. San Jose tying it back up, and then the Rustlers putting on another touchdown to get that 14-7 lead. And then since then, San Jose's had 2 scoring possessions, Matt, but both have been field goals.
Yeah, and San Jose is a big fan of this multiple tight end set, but that means you're leaving one of your, good receivers on the sidelines. And again, here, I mean, if you're going to throw out of this, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Utah checks that one down. That is big fullback Danny Jenkins with the catch as we take a peek at the quarterback comparison. 3rd down and 9, inside 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
At least they're in the shotgun.
4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Utah going deep down the left sideline, tipped and incomplete. Kelsey Brown had it in her hands and dropped the ball. 4th down and 9.
Oof. Run some drops. Those are just drive killers. Your quarterback's just like, what do I have to do?
Kelsey Brown, the leading receiver for the Rustlers, Matt, 24 receptions for 221 yards so far after 3 games of action that Salt Lake City has been a part of. Salt Lake City coming off a loss. They were at the Albuquerque Adams last week, Matt. They lost 26-16. So they're only 2 points away from getting last week's total yards. Nice spinning return by Santini, getting up to the 41-yard line. So 2.5 to go with only 2 timeouts. Remember, they were hoping to get Salt Lake City to jump off sides earlier on in the ball game. Did not work. They had to burn one of their timeouts. So now a 2.5-minute drill. What's that?
They got plenty of time. I mean,
plenty of time. Yep, plenty of time with
40.
with good field position. So Colin Pierce back out onto the field in the shotgun. 2 backs, 1 each side. Short pass over the middle is caught. Hauled in by Banfield. Now with 78 yards on 3 catches and a touchdown, the benefactor of one of the deep touchdown passes that we've seen so far in this ball game. 17 seconds to go till the 2-minute warning.
Be careful with the flight. If they don't get the first down, this could work out in Salt Lake City's advantage.
See if they snap it before the 2, and they do indeed.
What
Pierce
the-
checks it down to Hazard behind the line of scrimmage, and Hazard can't get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 3rd down and 5 after the 2-minute warning. Matt, it didn't sound like you were a big fan of throwing it behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, the way Pierce wound up like he was going to throw a bomb, and then it just kind of floated out of his hands. I was expecting more, I guess.
A bunch formation to the bottom, including Doug Spelling all the way at the bottom.
Out route.
Pierce does indeed throw the
Oh.
out route, but another drop. We've seen some sloppy play out of some of the receivers from both of these squads with some drops on wide open passes. Vern Zales, the intended target for San Jose, and that'll bring an end to another San Jose drive, this time not in field goal range. And they will have to punt. And now the Salt Lake City Rustlers, Matt, you mentioned it a couple of snaps ago, that if they couldn't get the first, it could work out in Salt Lake City's favor. They'll get the ball with about 1:50 to go and all 3 timeouts. See what kind of starting field position they can get. And it will be decent, standard starting field position up at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a good spot. They got to pass, but they got plenty of time to move the ball down the field. Just don't commit the mistake of throwing a pick. That's all you got to avoid.
So 1st down and 10 for the Rustlers, and this isn't exactly 2-minute drill formation, Matt.
They've thrown out of this before, yeah.
And they will again. Going over the middle, trying to hit Percoco again. And Lauren Percoco cannot bring that one in.
Well, you're putting Percoco in a tough spot. She's really the only good receiver on the field at that point because of all the tight ends, and so the defense knows kind of who to zero in on, and they pop the ball out there on a tough hit. More receivers, please.
See what sort of formation they come out in this time. 3
Better.
wide and 2 running backs. Percoco taking a breather on this one. Utah changing the play at the line. Short drop. Has plenty of time in the pocket, but pressure coming. Steps up and is brought down for the sack.
Interesting. No timeout from either team, so I wonder if Salt Lake is going to fling it or if they're going to just say, yep, we're just going to run it and either force the flight to take a timeout or nope. I think we're going to see a throw here.
I kind of expected San Jose to use one of their last 2 timeouts, but they don't. And Utah steps up, throws, and that one is caught. And San Jose probably saying that's why we didn't call a timeout.
Great formation for no huddle here. 5 or 4 wide and a tight end.
Utah deep down the right side, and that one is picked off. Our first interception of the ball game is in San Jose's hands, picked off by Monte Wyatt.
Monte Wyatt on draft watch, Mike, and showing you why they're playing zone. Look at him. Look at wow. Played that like a corner. Watch the quarterback the whole way, eyes on the ball, got in position, great play. Another got to watch again on draft day.
Absolutely. Wyatt comes into the ball game with 25 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 4 pass deflections, and 1 pick on the season, now with 2 interceptions for the 6'3", 223-pound safety. So any scouts that are watching the game, if you're in need of safety help, Monte Wyatt, somebody that you want to target. As a nice run comes from Jimmy Hazard, trying to capitalize on Wyatt's turnover. One of the best runs we've seen all day.
That corner beautifully. Uh-oh.
And that one's going to be tackled for a loss in the backfield. Probably should burn one of these timeouts, but they're not electing to do so.
I'm in not a good situation here. Maybe a little SFLm coaching situation. Good run.
And another good run by Hazard all the way down to the 11. Let's see if they burn a timeout here after this replay.
credit to Hazard, man. He carried the ball 3 straight times and got great yardage on 2 out of 3, and he's got to be exhausted.
18 seconds to go. San Jose did indeed burn one of their final 2 timeouts. First down and 10 from the 12-yard line.
I honestly think San Jose only has 1 play, so you got to go to the end zone here. Take your shot.
3 wide. Pierce looking out route to the bottom, and that one is tipped and then caught. Caught by Walters. They're going to burn their last timeout. No, they're not. No, they're going to let the clock continue to run. And 3 seconds to go, they call a timeout. And Jack Lewis will come out onto the field to try and give the Flight their first lead of the ball game.
Well, that was a whirlwind of a drive there. Couple, maybe getting on the quarterback there, Pierce, about calling an audible there on those 3 straight runs. Worked out, but usually not your best, the best plan on a 2-minute drill.
Lewis, 2 for 2 so far, has not had to kick anything long yet. First from 17, then 25, now 1 from 24 from the right hash. Kick is up, and it is good. The San Jose Flight take their first lead of the ball game.
It's a good morale booster for the Flight going into the half here.
Your score after 2 quarters of play: the Salt Lake City Rustlers 14, the hometown San Jose Flight 16. As we head to the halftime show to look at some halftime stats and highlights. Matt, your thoughts from the first half.
Salt Lake City had that point off turnover, but they scored once after that. But see the rushing yards for Salt Lake City, single digits. That's rough.
Yeah, and that's been kind of par for the course in their first 3 games, Matt. Brooke Beisel, 34 carries, 90 yards. She does have a touchdown, averaging only 2.6 yards per carry. So, offensively, they're 7th in the league in rushing yards per game. And, haven't seen a ton out of the Salt Lake City rushing attack so far in this one either. Both of these quarterbacks, though, putting on a little bit of a show with some deep passes. The receivers, the biggest benefactors of those. 14-6 here at the half. Appreciate everybody being with us so far this evening. I'm Mike Daggs on play-by-play, joined in the booth by Matt Wilson, the Hall of Fame quarterback of the Mexico City Aztecs. With us in the chat, it looks like Jeff Banfield, Joseph Guy Clausen, Colin Pierce, Jack Lewis, V. Lacey, Rolger Law still here, Will Todd, Hammerjack Jr., looking for some people maybe I didn't call it the first time. Monte Wyatt, I'm actually saying his name properly, Matt. I just had to make sure. I think I've said it both ways. And glad I got some clarification there. Oh, Monty. Yeah, it could be Monty or Monte. He says Monte. That's what I thought. So I was right. You were wrong, as per usual. Christian Brown with us. I know you didn't say anything about his name. I'm just have to throw you under the bus or push you out of the wagon, so to speak. As we get ready for the second half of action to get underway, Salt Lake City will kick the ball back off to the Flight. Josh Santini back to receive at his own 9-yard line. Spins his way up to the 27-yard line. It's been a popular starting field position on this end of the field. I think every single drive has started from just about the 27, if not on the dot. Colin Pierce bringing the offense back out onto the field. And, Matt, that's, we talk about points off turnovers. We'll get into a little bit more after this play. Both teams with a turnover, both teams capitalizing off of it. Pierce, back throw, stepping up into the pocket. Speaking of turnovers, almost had one there. Trying to hit Jimmy Hazard, sent the halfback out deep. So each team with a turnover. The Salt Lake City Rustlers recovering a fumble and then getting into the end zone for a touchdown. San Jose getting that interception from Monte Wyatt only able to get a field goal out of it. They've had 3 field goals in a row to get them to where they are now. So not quite the same, capitalization off the turnover, if you will, but it gave them the lead, and then they get the ball back right after they kick that field goal to take the lead. Deep pass over the middle, and that one is caught, finally hitting another deep target. Will Todd with the reception, and that puts Pierce over 200 on the day.
That patented Pierce delivery, Mike. Looks like he's going to throw a lazy ball, and then it kind of snaps out of his hands. And great throw, great catch. Good start for the flight.
Some great action here in Week 5 between the Salt Lake City Rustlers and the San Jose Flight. Hazard takes a handoff, tries to get off tackle to the right, and Matt, we just really haven't seen either of these running backs able to get much going. Hazard definitely with the better stat line. He had some big chunk runs on that 2-minute drill after the pick. Set him up in field goal range. Otherwise, it's been a lot of short runs from both squads. Expect to see more passing here as the second half unfolds. Swing route with a blocker out in front of him. You can see
the blocking really hasn't materialized on those.
No, you can see. I was going to say you could see the inexperience from Doug Spelling in his role as a blocker from the receiving side of things. Ran right past 2 defenders. I think he thought he might still be going out for a pass on that one, Matt. Pierce takes the snap, short pass over the middle, and that one's picked right through the hands of the receiver and into the hands of Tony Williams, the cornerback. There was a flag on the play, though, I believe. And roughing the passer is called, and a huge, huge break for Colin Pierce. Wow. Cabron Womack called for roughing the passer. Let's see this. Oh.
I don't know about that.
Kind of hit the knee a little bit late, Matt. What do you think? You're a quarterback. Usually you would say, oh, yeah, he breathed on me. That's roughing.
I think Alex Dominguez has hurt me more on regular non-roughing the passer sacks than that.
Alex Dominguez has hurt you more just with his words, Matt.
Yeah, he's a mean man.
Well, a huge break for the Flight as that pick is taken away. My goodness. 8-yard gain. 8-yard gain on the first down. Pass to Will Todd. What I cut you off. What did you say?
I wanted to replay on the pick because I didn't see that coming. It just kind of happened. I thought the receiver was right there.
Yeah, it looked like it just slipped right through his hands.
Everybody in the box.
Questionable call as the chat starts to react to that one. It's going to be a 3rd down and 2. Hazard no gain on that run. Brought down by Orlando Wilkins.
That's just something Pierce has to learn, is that when you got everybody in the box, don't run it towards everybody in the box. You either got to audible it to something more to the outside or just throw the ball.
Pierce changing the play at the line, 231 yards through the air so far, trying to add some more now, and does with a connection to Jeff Banfield.
Or so you thought.
Oh, and he steps out of bounds. I don't know, Matt. He looked into me. I didn't even
we see
check
our
the
first
down box. Yeah, we do. First challenge flag of the night comes out, and I thought for sure he was in.
Let's see what we got here.
I think he had 2 feet in.
2 feet, yeah.
And get the call from the ref, and the call is indeed overturned. San Jose is not charged with a timeout because it is a completed pass and a fresh set of downs, just like it was announced during live action.
Looks like Ref 62 is in preseason form. 2 feet. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Open your eyes, Zebra. First down and 10 from the 18. Pierce hands the ball off to Hazard, immediately wrapped up and brought down in the backfield. Orlando Wilkins, we've seen him flying around the field, Matt. We even saw him pick up an incompleted pick attempt and run around with it for a little while, but he's been everywhere. Big loss of 4 on that play, 2nd and 14.
We know linebackers can be a little crazy sometimes. Here we go again, Mike. Everybody in the box. We're going to need some good blocking out of the flight to get this run going. Nope.
And another tackle for a loss. Flying into the backfield, Christopher Maggle getting a tackle for a loss. Maggle coming in from the strong safety position and run support. Matt, he's got a sack on the season and a couple of picks.
He can't do anything as a halfback when you're an unblocked guy. You can try to break a tackle, but there's more than one man there. So now, if you're the Rustlers, just play back and don't allow a first down here.
Pierce firing a short pass over the middle, just setting up easier field goal range for Jack Lewis. He hasn't kicked one longer than 25 tonight, but it looks like he'll get an opportunity to showcase his talents at a little longer distance on this one. 4th down and 7 from the 15 will set up about a 32-yard field goal try.
He actually didn't take a sack there, but when you got a kicker like Lewis, I think you can afford to be a little more aggressive there. You don't have to pick up 10 yards for him for an easier field goal. He'll make it.
Kick from the left hash is up, and it is good. 32 yards out, adds 3 more to the score. San Jose Flight now up 19-14 over the Salt Lake City Rustlers.
I think that would have been good from where they originally threw the ball down before. So
I want to see how much range Lewis has. We've seen a few short kicks, 32 being the longest. Let's set up like a 56-yarder here at some point. Let's set some records tonight. So 4 scoring drives in a row for San Jose, all of which have been field goals. It's time for the Rustlers to answer. Matt, they've only scored twice, 2 touchdowns. They were both on deep passing plays.
Yeah, and unfortunately, what we've seen out of the Rustlers is they've just gone with 3 tight ends a lot of the times. And again, you're taking your 2 wide receivers out of the game. I don't think that's a good move. Yeah, see, this is better.
Utah under center. Drops back, fires over the middle. Oh, and that one's picked off. Definitely not what he wanted. Guess who, Matt? Monte Wyatt. 2 picks on the ball game.
Well, we got the Rico meter for games. The draft meter is the green arrow is going straight up for this guy.
Absolutely.
Wyatt. If you need a strong safety on your team, you might want to look at this guy.
Monte Wyatt with 2 picks. 6'3" helps at the safety spot when you have that height, Matt. We've talked about that at great length off the air. About the height advantage and the speed advantage, and it looks like he's flying around back there too, putting himself in good position, and then it sets up his team already in field goal range. Well, that was a dangerous pass, but hauled in by Banfield. Good for 5.
Yeah, Banfield, though, showing you the strong hands, had to catch that in traffic over a corner. It's only a 5-yard gain. That's a good way to help your quarterback out, as we've seen quite a few drops today.
Indeed we have, Matt. 2nd down and 5.
Danger.
4 wide receivers on the field. Pierce will hand the ball off to Hazard. Hazard finally getting a couple of blockers out in front. Able to avoid the first couple of tackles. Gets up to the 22-yard lines. That'll move the chains. Fresh set of downs.
Hazard's another guy that's looked pretty good if you give him a few blocks. Problem for him is just his teammates just keep running away.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing a good job on the season. 81 carries, 320 yards. That's 2nd place in the league. You know, they have played 4 games. Not every team has with the bye weeks. But he is 2nd in the league in rushing yards and 2nd in the league in rushing touchdowns with 3. He has not found the end zone yet this evening, but there's still plenty of time midway through the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and decent gain there too. See if the flight get more aggressive here again. This press man, interesting.
Banfield quietly almost having a 100-yard night. Doesn't seem like he's gotten there. Oh, look at that dive and incomplete. Trying to hit Doug Spelling, but bouncing out of the hands, Matt. We've seen, like you mentioned earlier, a few drops. Another one there from Spelling.
Well, Pierce didn't exactly set his. If he had set his feet, that ball would have been a little more accurate. I think it threw everything off, but tough.
4 wide receivers now on the field on this third down. Will we see another Jack Lewis field goal, or can they keep this drive alive? Pressure coming, down he goes. We will see another field goal try as there's a sack back at the 23-yard line. Fred Carson, not one to celebrate, I guess. He just kind of silently stared at Pierce. He may have been apologizing. I'm not sure. Now a 40-yard field goal try. We are slowly starting to test Lewis's range. Something tells me this one will be still significantly good. I think he can probably kick it from 60. Good snap. Kick is on its way, and it barely even came down. Good from 40 yards. San Jose now 5 back-to-back scoring possessions, but all field goals, Matt. Do you think there's, I mean, 5 drives in a row you have scored, but yet you're only winning by 1 touchdown?
Yeah. 1 touchdown and a 2-point conversion, but I mean, if you're Salt Lake City, you got to get moving here. The window is closing.
Return taken back up to the 25-yard line. And, it is. There's still plenty of time left, but the momentum is definitely in San Jose's favor. They've forced now 2 turnovers, and we talk about that points off turnovers ad nauseum sometimes, but it's because it's so important in the game. And so far, 2 turnovers for San Jose, one takeaway, I should say, for Salt Lake City, 2 takeaways for San Jose, and San Jose's capitalized off both. Can't risk having another. Wow, that pass into coverage as well. Somehow able to bring it down. So we see the quarterback numbers again, and Matt, the 2 turnovers by Utah, the difference right now.
And throwing out of a 3 tight end set.
Yep, Santini trying to get that one. Gets the tackle.
Lucky he didn't slip out of the fingers again. Those backup tight ends are more of a blocking focus, I would say.
They're just for show, Matt. You can say it. Utah under center, 4 wide receivers. Ball is handed off to Beisel. Haven't seen a carry from her in a while. That one is good for a gain of 6. Running up to the 43-yard line. 2nd down and 4.
Back in the box again. Are they going to throw again?
Offset I formation here on 2nd down. They will throw it. Utah has time. Out route to the bottom, and that one is caught. Hauled in by one of the other backup tight ends, Torrey Perry. Lauren Percoco still without a catch, but both of her counterpart backups have a catch in this one.
I don't think I've ever seen that, Mike. The 2 backups get a catch before the starter. Usually you don't see 3 tight ends. Or no, we have a receiver this time on the top.
Ball is handed off to Beisel. Beisel running through the middle and gaining 8 up to the San Jose 39-yard line. And they're putting a nice drive together this time, Matt.
It's very unconventional, but it's working for now. How long can they keep this up? I don't know. They're bringing some receivers on the field. Watch them run it now. They got the receivers.
Matt's confused. He doesn't know how to analyze this formation. Deep drop from Utah. Out route to the left. There you go with Lauren Percoco breaking a tackle inside the 10-yard line. Way to make your first catch of the ball game. Lauren Percoco getting a nice catch and run all the way down to the 5-yard line, sets up a first down and goal.
See, you finally get it to number 1. Interesting route there by Percoco. Not exactly the cleanest out route I've ever seen, but she gets the ball, turns on the afterburners, and gets down to about the 5-yard line. So just got to work on that route running a little bit for the big leagues, but good looking prospect when she does catch the ball.
First and goal now from the 5. Utah hits Beisel. Beisel spins it into the end zone. Touchdown, Salt Lake City. Brooke Beisel with her second touchdown of the season, the first through the air.
I was about to get her a tough time as she was going the wrong way, but then, I don't know, I think she faked out the corner there. Watch this, Mike. She'll catch it, start going the other way, and then looks like she's going to run, running towards the sideline and said, nah, not so fast. Got the corner's momentum going one way, and then the spin the other way, and left them in the dust. So, and the 2-point conversion.
Offense still out on the field, attempting to tie this one up. What will they do? They'll hand it back off to Beisel. Beisel tries to get in and is held short. Does not get in, so the Flight will maintain their 2-point lead, but finally some life out of the Salt Lake City Rustlers after what seemed like, just nothing but San Jose scoring after 5 unanswered possessions. But this is what I was saying, Matt. Could the fact that they had to settle for field goals 5 times come back to haunt them, as all it took was 1 touchdown to make it now just a 2-point game. That touchdown set up by that nice reception, the catch and run by Lauren Percoco. She is the wife of Michael Percoco, defensive end from the Vancouver Legion at his rookie season in season 15 of the Simulation Football League. Ended with 21 tackles, a couple of sacks, 3 tackles for a loss in his rookie debut. Now cheering on his wife here for the Salt Lake City Rustlers. First play of this drive goes for first down yardage up to the 45-yard line. Catch by Spelling, turning the corner and getting the first down.
Yeah, good job getting Spelling involved. He's been a weapon every time he's gotten the ball. I mean, look at this fancy footwork here. Mike breaks a tackle like a tight end, and then gets an extra 5 yards. Gotta love those free yards when you throw it to your wide receiver and he makes a move like that.
All he's got to do is fall forward, and he's practically got a 3-yard gain. So,
Timber.
Pierce hands it off to Hazard. Hazard has room to run. Flag comes out as he's tackled at midfield by Peanut Say.
Say it ain't
check
so.
The flag.
Is it a clip? Nope, just a hold.
And it is a holding on the Flight. They're going to call that one on the fullback, Brandon Brandt. I didn't see the hold. I don't know if it doesn't look like we're going to get a replay. I can't see what the hold looked like, but regardless, it's now first down and 20. Putting the Flight in a bad spot. Trips formation to the bottom. Trying to get Hazard back involved and not going to get all of the penalty yardage back. Almost half will be a 2nd and 16.
Yeah, they should aim for 6+ to get it to at least a 3rd and 10 would be nice.
2nd and 16. Ball at the 39-yard line.
I mean, hard to argue with those numbers and that rating from Pierce.
Absolutely. He's had a decent ball game. Trips to the bottom. Swings that one out to Hazard, and Hazard pays the price. Flying in for the tackle, Peanut Say. Say's been flying all over that defensive backfield for the Rustlers, Matt. 26 tackles, 3 pass deflections, and a forced fumble coming into tonight's ball game. It's added on several more tackles, including tackle for a loss. Trips to the top this time on 3rd down and 15. Pierce is going to chuck it short seeing if Spelling can do anything with it, and he cannot. Bring up a 4th down and 12, and the end of the third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. 1 remains. San Jose Flight out in front, 22-20 over the Salt Lake City Rustlers. You're watching the Simulation Football League, the Minor League Season 2 on YouTube. Appreciate everybody being with us tonight. Bit of a blowout in the other game. Ottawa out in front of Tacoma, 23-6. 10 minutes to go in that one. Just ahead of our ball game here. Close one for the 1-2 Salt Lake City Rustlers and the 0-4 San Jose Flight. The Flight trying to get that elusive first win and possibly turn their season around. Still hope for the playoffs, Matt. There's 9 teams in the minor league. The top 4 make it in. Nobody is mathematically eliminated this early in the season, but being week 5, we're at the midway point, starting to get to the point where people will start to drop out. So it's important that San Jose starts putting some W's on the board and out in front in this one.
Wow, look at this.
A total change of pace.
Yeah, where's the tight end? Just disappeared, Mike.
We're getting some drinks on the sideline. Hey, speaking of the tight ends, Matt, there's one. Lauren Percoco with another catch.
Shotgun all slants, and might not be a bad idea, especially with the lack of quality defensive players on both sides. It's tougher to run all slants in the major leagues of the SFL because of all that talent at corner and linebacker, but not quite as much here, so I'd bust that play out every now and again.
Utah hands the ball off to Beisel. Not a big run, but enough for a first down. Keeps those chains moving.
That's what they need, Mike, a better mix of, they can come out in their 3 tight end set, but also throw in that shotgun to keep the defense on its heels.
First down and 10, inside 10 minutes to go. Beisel takes another handoff. Runs that one straight up the middle for a gain of 4. And, Matt, is it too early for even, say, Salt Lake City to, try to do some clock management here with these runs and just try to slowly, methodically work their way down the field and take
I don't
the lead?
know. 9 minutes.
Soon?
I think it's too soon. If it was like 6 minutes.
I mean, it's most of the fourth quarter, but.
Yeah, I think they just have to concentrate on getting 7.
No, Beisel will continue to get the ball. The best run of the ball game for Brooke Beisel. Crossing midfield up to the San Jose 46-yard line. First down and 10 for the Rustlers.
Like, was that her best run of the season? I have no idea, but it was pretty long.
It could have been, yeah. Only 90 yards after 3 games.
Yeah, that was like a 20-yard run.
Last week only had 11 yards, Matt, on 10 carries.
Oh, yeah.
Against the Albuquerque Adams. So Utah over the middle. Oh, that one nearly picked. Evan Lacey had it in his hands, but dropped it. Trying to get his first pick of the season. Can't get it on that one. Second down and 10, but a dangerous play from Utah, who's already thrown 2 picks in this ball game.
Utah needs to put some more air into that ball. If he does, that's a walk-in touchdown.
Second and 10. Offset I formation. Beisel takes a handoff and is immediately wrapped up and tackled. Just going to lose a yard on that one, Matt. Third down and 11.
Not much you could do. As soon as you got the handoff, there were 2 people in the hole. Defenders waiting for her. So, just... Now, here's the interesting thing is... Can they get... No, they have to... They just have to get the first. They can't kick a field goal no matter what, so...
Throws for first down yardage. That one is complete. Hitting Kingston Ellington. Now with over 100 yards, Matt, on 4 catches.
Another guy to
first
watch.
Down, moves the chains.
Nice throw by Utah. Finds the hole in the zone. And they're moving. Salt Lake City's moving. they've kind of abandoned the tight ends on this drive, Mike. It's working so far.
Yeah, total change of pace on this last drive, and it is working. But they come out in these 4 wide sets, and then they're running.
It's working. I love it.
Yep, Chris Foreman with the carry this time around, as Beisel, takes a breather.
I love spreading out defenses and running it up the middle because if you can make a guy miss, there's not a lot of resistance there.
It's just a unique offensive playbook. 4 wide, we run. No receivers, we're going to pass.
Don't catch.
And Beisel catching that one. I think she was marked out of bounds, though, Matt. They're down in 7. Oh, no, they did spot her for a 1-yard loss, I believe.
When you see that ball, you just got to bat it down or just not catch it because there's no way you're going to be able to get your feet in bounds and gain any yards in that situation. So 3rd and 7, big down here for the Rustlers. They don't have a kind of big kicker, so if they don't get the first, it'll be interesting to see.
Now 5 wide, Utah back to pass, firing over the middle. Overthrows Ellington. The first miss of the ball game heading Ellington's way. And here we go. Henry Griffin trotting out onto the field for a field goal try. This one will be from about 41 yards. If my math is correct, which I believe it is, 42 yards straight from the middle of the field.
Well, he's not a big kicker, that's for sure. Hopefully his leg's bigger than his height.
Coming in at only 5'8", and Matt is picking on him. That's not nice. Field goal for the lead on its way. It is no good. Wide right. And the are able to maintain the lead.
Mike, that looks hauntingly familiar.
Look how close that was to that goalpost, Matt.
Kickers matter, hashtag.
And exactly, because Matt, if the Flight end up coming away from this game with the victory, if any other team in the Simulation Football Minor League ever wants to question whether a high-paid kicker is worth the money, well, Jack Lewis, 5 field goals, giving his team the lead. Wow. The Flight going for the throat now, going deep to Jeff Banfield. He's got about 140 yards on the ball game now, Matt.
Again, Pierce, just look at everything he's got. Look at this. Whoosh. It looks like Tim Tebow. That's what it reminds me of with that release.
We'll have to see if he throws a touchdown pass and kneels to pray. 3 wide receivers on the field now. Pierce under center. Deep drop. Over to the left. That one's picked up. Nobody out in front of him. He's heading off to the house. Can anybody stop him? 1 man to beat, perhaps. 10-5 touchdown. And the Rustlers reclaim the lead on a pick 6. Jared Brody, his 3rd pick of the season and the first that he's taken to the house.
Oh, man. I don't know if the receiver got brushed a little bit, but either way, not a great pass by Pierce. And that's how you do it if you're Salt Lake City. Just now the momentum's just shifted. The good news is the Flight get the ball back with 6:26 to go. The bad news is they need a touchdown to take the lead. Field goal won't do them too much good. I mean, it will if they can recover probably an onside kick, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, the scenario engine is running in my head.
He's heating up. The extra point is up, and it is good. 27-22, now Salt Lake City with a 5-point lead over the Flight. Pierce's first interception of the ball game, Matt. He had kept everything nice and clean. I talked about that touchdown interception ratio, 3 touchdowns to 5 picks coming into the game. Had 1 touchdown pass earlier on today and has been playing very efficiently. But a costly mistake there it looks like he slightly underthrew his receiver. And Jared Brody able to capitalize off that one. Kick take back at the 10. Special teams units have been coming to play today. Lyle Vernon with a hard hit.
Textbook, wrap the legs, hit him in the gut, and flop on him
down. Bring him down. 6 minutes, 23 seconds to go. The Flight back out on the field on offense. they did have 5 drives in a row that they scored, but it was all off of the leg of Jack Lewis. Almost a non-factor now. I mean, if they get in field goal range, sure, take it, but that'll still give you a loss if you don't get any more points. So throwing to Spelling, and that one is incomplete. Hit his hands, but then broken up by Tony Williams.
Spelling's been quiet in the second half. He was gangbusters in the first, but maybe an adjustment by Salt Lake City. I don't know.
Second and 10 from 29 yards.
2nd down and 10. 3 backs in the backfield. Pierce hands it off to Hazard. Jimmy Hazard wrapped right up and brought down by Brody. Brody's still on a bit of a natural high, Matt, after getting that pick 6 and now a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, one of the old linemen missed the block to spring Hazard. Now it's a really difficult 3rd and 12.
So assuming they only get about half of this, Matt, they have to go for it or they punt?
I think they can punt. They're not down by...
None of
never
that matters.
mind.
Never mind. Matt Spelling says, I'll just get the 1st down here. Don't worry about it. 1st down and 10 up to the 40-yard line. He didn't drop that one, Matt. That one was brought in.
Post. I don't know. Number 23. I don't know if he was going for a pick or he was trying to take out Spelling, but he missed.
It kind of looked to me like maybe he was diving at the ball. It was Christopher Maggle, the strong safety. Trips to the top of the screen on this 1st down and 10. Swing route out to Hazard. Hey, Spelling blocked that time. Sprung Hazard for a couple extra yards. 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, I do that at the next level, so good he's maybe learning from his mistakes. Got to make everyone else around you good. Even if the ball's not going to you, you got to make the blocks necessary to help your team out.
Offset eye in the backfield. Ball is handed off to Hazard. Hazard spins and gets the 1st down. We'll keep the clock rolling and fresh set it down. So yeah, obviously, Matt, San Jose they got to get that touchdown. But 4.5 minutes to go. Are they in clock management mode now?
No, because they got to score.
Just score as fast as you can? Or?
They got to get in the end zone no matter what. So I don't think you can, look at it that way. Oh.
Well, Hazard takes a handoff, and that one's brought down in the backfield. Maggle making up for his miss on that dive at the ball caught by Spelling. He makes it up by getting a tackle for a loss on Hazard on that one. 2nd down and 13.
Press again. Where's my go route?
Hazard takes the handoff. No. He gets his lost yards back +3. Gain of 6 on the play. Will bring up a 3rd down and 7 as we tick down under 4 minutes to go. Clock a rolling. A big 3rd down here coming up for San Jose. And Matt, even with all their timeouts, I think with this field position,
yeah,
even if you don't get anything else on this one, save for a loss on the play, I think you got to go for this.
Yeah, you're
possibly
on
4-down territory. Short drop. Trying to hit Spelling.
Wow.
He somehow does. Sneaks it right past the linebacker. A dangerous play. Ritter was in the area. Somehow Spelling gets the catch. Wow.
No replay? Come on, truck. What are you doing to me?
Press coverage here from the Rustler defense.
Top of the screen.
Pierce capitalized.
Oh, they missed him.
Checked it down. And what did you see?
I saw Banfield beat his guy at the top of the screen. I mean, it wasn't a huge beat, but it was enough where he put enough air into the ball. I think Banfield's going to the house, but not to be.
Do you think there could still be some nerves possibly from Pierce after throwing that pick 6?
Could be, but man, again, here we go. This is some weird coverage, Mike. Looks like man 3-2. Interesting.
1-on-1 down at the bottom.
Nice
but
play.
They'll go to the top instead. That'll move the chains up to the 25-yard line inside 3 minutes to go in the ball game. 5-point game. San Jose trying to punch it in the end zone to get their first win of the season.
Setting up to be an interesting scenario at the end of the game, Mike, if especially if the Flights score a touchdown here.
Pierce under center. 5-step drop, fires over the middle, incomplete. Jerry Walters had his hands on it, actually tipped it back up into the air and gave the Rustlers a shot at it. They couldn't get it, though.
Tough. Your third receiver has got to make that play.
In the other game, Ottawa kneeling this one away. They will come away with the victory, 26-6.
Oh,
Flag on the play.
3 yards.
And cameraman pointing out number 91, Brian Green.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 92, defense.
And that's the sort of mistake that the Rustlers just can't afford to make at this point. Trying to cling to their 5-point lead. San Jose getting down in scoring range and spotting them a free play, especially after the run didn't really go for that long.
Second and 5.
Banfield with 125 yards now on 7 receptions. 2nd down and 4. And then another tackle for a loss in the backfield. These Rustlers defenders have been all over Hazard today. Tim Dark getting that tackle for a loss. That's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 10, Matt.
Yeah, another unblocked defender. And I don't know about that call. I think you got to be throwing here. You can't be trying to salt the game away with, now they're in a hurry, yeah. But if they snap it here before the 2-minute warning.
So a big 3rd down and 8. 3 receivers to the top. Pierce
Oh,
going
good.
all tipped and incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down and 8 after the 2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League on YouTube. We got a great one here to kick off week number 5 of the minor league.
And they're going for it.
They are indeed going to go for it. I would have been tempted to kick the field goal and try to get it back, but they're going to go for it here. All or nothing. Pierce back to throw. Out route to Spelling. Spelling with a catch. The 1st down, and he's inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal from the 9. A gutsy call, Matt.
13 strikes, Mike. Brings back memories throwing balls like that to Mr. Swan.
That pass looked like it was a little low. I was nervous that Spelling might drop it. He's had a couple of drops. They were in coverage.
They're going to throw out this, aren't they?
Pierce under center, 3 backs. The backfield
No.
they hand it off to Hazard.
Oh,
Hazard tackled for a
no.
loss once again. This Rustlers defense, they are just tallying up the TFLs in this one. 2nd down and goal, but now from the 13-yard line. Minute 15 to go in the ball game. Clock moving.
Looks like this is going to be the last drive, Mike. It's going to be either the defense of the Rustlers or the offense of the Flight that's going to take this game.
Who will it be? Pierce back to pass, looking towards the end zone, fires short of the end zone. That one is caught, hauled in at the 8, 3rd down and goal. And the Flight call a timeout.
I don't mind that. It gets you closer after you took that loss. You've got 2 downs still left in your pocket, so I don't know, man. Running out. At least try to get 4 or 5 yards, and maybe you can turn that out up into a touchdown. Watch the top of the screen there.
Jerry Walters in press coverage. Spelling down at the bottom in press as well.
Someone.
Pierce back to throw. Swing route out to the running back, and that one is caught, but it'll be a 4th down and goal from the 6. San Jose with only 1 timeout remaining and only 54 seconds on the clock. So it all comes down to this. It's 4th and goal. They either get the touchdown now or they will fall to 0-5, pending any sort of weird play out of the Rustlers offense, but they should be able to kneel this one away. So here we go. Pierce under center, three receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom.
Gotta find a hole in the zone. They're not playing press this time.
Pierce looking to Spelling.
Oh,
Spelling
no!
falls down. And it's a turnover on down.
Oh, no.
Matt, he had room to run if he had stayed on his feet.
What happened? Gets bumped a little bit.
He jumped for it. If
I
he
don't
had
think
caught
we-
it,
Oh,
he would have
no.
been able to turn upfield if he had caught it with his feet on the ground and he could have
Mike-
got the score.
Mike, we're on the 2-yard line. We're in safety territory. If the halfback gets tackled for a loss, it's not over yet.
It's
I'd be
definitely
bringing
not.
everybody.
And they'll throw Utah to pass. Swings it out to Beisel. Beisel out of
Gets
bounds,
out of
and that'll
bounds.
stop the clock. Definitely not the way I saw this one
geez.
going down, but it gets them a little bit more room, Matt, and I think they might be able to kneel here from the 5.
They better.
But then I don't know if they'd be able to kneel a second time. And San Jose with the
Oh,
timeout.
man.
So
Oh, no.
now they're going to
better
run
not throw this one.
Utah, a couple of picks today, hands it off to Beisel. Beisel hit, gains a couple of yards, and the final timeout will be called, but there's 41 seconds on the clock.
Should be it, right?
No, they'll be able to kneel it, but there will still be time left. They won't, it'll be close. I think if they take the knee here, the game clock will be below the play clock, so they won't have to punt. I believe that they will be able to just kneel this one away. But an amazing game. It looks like Salt Lake City will indeed come away with the victory. And yes, the game clock is below the play clock. So that should be the final score in this one. Salt Lake City 27, San Jose Flight 22. Matt, the Flight put up quite a fight today. You know, they will be falling to 0-5 on the season, putting their playoff hopes in jeopardy. But definitely some positives to take away. We saw some really good quarterback play out of Colin Pierce, except for that pick 6. Jimmy Hazard had some nice runs on the ground. Doug Spelling with some catches. You know, he'll learn from the mistake of that, twisting jump. But couldn't get that one done. Jeff Banfield with a nice day. Will Todd still leading the pack here of tight ends in the minor league. But the Salt Lake City Rustlers coming away with their second victory on the season as we see the post-game stats and highlights. Matt, your final thoughts in this one?
Look at the yardage for the Flight. They lost the game. I don't know. I think if you added up the points off turnovers, that is just a huge advantage for the Rustlers, right?
Yeah, it was because they ended up getting 14 points off the turnovers.
Yeah.
One was a pick 6. The other one just set up their first offensive passing touchdown of the ball game. Whereas San Jose was able to capitalize off the turnovers, but only field goals. So Jack Lewis just kicking the ball. You can see one of his many field goals here. But I asked earlier on, Matt, if it would end up biting them that they only were able to get field goals on 5 consecutive offensive possessions, and it definitely did. Salt Lake City, they will improve to 2-2 on the season. San Jose will fall to 0-5. Next up for Salt Lake City, they return home next week. They'll play host to the Ottawa Cavalry. For San Jose, another game here at home as the Albuquerque Adams come to town. Simulation Football minor league action returns next week on Monday, November 6th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate everybody being willing to adjust with our schedule this week and next week, the next couple of weeks. So we'll have a Monday night game next week, and then the following 2 weeks, week 7 and 8, we will be on a Sunday night and then a Saturday night, and then back to the original Friday night for week 9 as we wait to see the player of the game in this one. And the player of the game for the Salt Lake City Rustlers is Kingston Ellington for his 4-reception, 108-yard, and 2-touchdown performance, including 1 deep ball earlier on in the ball game. For Matt Wilson, our commissioner and producer Cameron Irvine, and everyone here at the Simulation Football League, I'm Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next week.